protection of the Electro Archon. May the blossoms of the sacred
Someone's not in the best of moods. Let me guess. You're all tangled up in another situation and need me to unravel it for you. I hope you realize how lucky you are. If it was anyone else, I don't think I'd have the patience to keep greeting them with a smile after the first few times.
But you're always smiling.
That was a figure of speech, do you understand? Nitpicking my turns of phrase. The sheer audacity.
Oh, yeah. Something really big's happened. It's A. She...
Oh, okay, I see. So, A's decided to palm Inazuma off on the humans, while she goes off on her own to fight a fierce battle that doesn't even have an end date. Impossibly stubborn. Jumps straight to the most extreme course of action imaginable, presumes her sheer will can see her through, despite a near impossible goal that requires nothing short of the very peak of her abilities. Yes, that sounds like A all right. You know as well as I do that she's always been like this. Why start fretting about it now? Rushed into it without thinking. Well put. Oh, she acts like such a child sometimes. So you seem to be under the impression that I am able to offer some sort of help? Who gave you that idea?
Is she playing dumb? She's doing this on purpose, for sure.
Uh-huh. You're learning, little one. But really, the truth of the matter is that I don't know much more about Raiden Makoto's realm of consciousness than you do. All I know is that it's the foundation of the sacred Sakura, and from what I've heard, it's a little different from A's plane of euthymia.
Because Raiden Makoto is no longer alive?
Not just because of that. The nature of the space itself is different in some way. But I can only speculate. You're the ones who have actually been there, so anyway, we needn't worry about the details too much. It'll just be a little difficult to explain things later on, that's all. First things first. Follow me to the entrance.
Alright, now let's get back on the cave. Alright, back in the cave or under the cave where Raiden Shogun's being for Duel Fight.
Now then, I always have my ways. It's just a question of how crafty I need to be. To the outsider, the realm of consciousness is a very abstract concept. Luckily, I'm A's familiar, so I can sense her rough whereabouts. In other words, even though I can't pinpoint the exact spatial location of this realm, I can still send you to where A is.
So, it's abstract, but has a location, but you don't know where it is, but you can still send us there. What?
Yes, no need to try and understand it. Let me put this simply. Right now, she is surrounded by chaos. Everything is turbulent and disordered. If you try to force your way in, you could be swept away by a giant wave that sets you down in an unknown corner of space-time. This is precisely why when entering the plane of euthymia, it's much safer if you place your consciousness in a physical object first.
What? Alright, well, I might stay here then. You two can go in.
Suit yourself. Worst case scenario, all we stand to lose is A. So what's the big deal?
You... Paradon it up to here with both of you! Fine. Paimon's coming too.
Oh, well, if you're quite sure, then of course. Now, I shall send you on your way. I say. Oh, nothing. It just seems extraordinarily chaotic, that's all. My suspicions have been confirmed. By the way, remember to focus constantly on your heartfelt wishes when you enter inside. Only a strong enough will can prevent you from being swallowed by the giant waves of abstract space. Only if you are strong enough can I deliver you to the right destination. Well then, the door's open. Hop on in. I'll stay outside and provide what stability I can. I'll be ready to respond if anything happens. I'm placing my god in your capable hands. For my sake and for Inazuma's, please. Bring her back.
Miko, you better know what you're doing!
That's enough chatter. Get to work.
Alright, back to the domain for bosses for Raiden Shogun. Alright, now it's gonna do with the cutscenes come along for Duel Raiden Shogun this time.
Remember to focus constantly on your heartfelt wishes when you enter inside. Only if you are strong enough can I deliver you to the right destination.
All the...
Huh? How can this be? You have returned. But how were you able to get back in? And how come you have not changed at all in all these years?
This is a duel to remember. It is as if we have returned to the moment when the laws of eternity were first established. Your will today is as strong as it was back then. Over countless battles, not once have you lost, and never have you shown the slightest hesitation. Had I made all enemies of eternity stand against you, you still would not have wavered. For your firm commitment to enforcing the rules, you have my admiration too. You bring honor to the title of Guardian of Eternity. Now these two return once more to this space. An inevitability of fate, perhaps. Then, let this be our final duel. The conclusion to that which began 500 years ago. Final duel? So you're finally willing to... Stand back, traveler. I'm going to be the start of something new. The time our duels took to fight was long enough to witness the rise and fall of nations. The energy that was great enough to vaporize the oceans and turn day into night. And the will they demanded, sufficient to penetrate minds and crush dreams. Yet, we have endured. I will endure forever. Shine down! The final calamity! There is no escape! Inferior! Illusion shattered! Eternity is in my hand! The will I carry within me will never be eroded nor destroyed! Perish! Inferior! There is no escape! This is the end. You have won. I believed you were incapable of transcending the past. But it seems my belief was baseless, and I underestimated your spirit. But a will that cannot be eroded has no way to embrace the future. You need not worry about the future. And you aren't alone. I know your power more than anyone else. Had I relied upon my strength alone, I would have lost this duel for sure. Yet, my reason for fighting redefined my martial prowess and redrew my limits. I now carry the gaze of the myriad of expectant eyes that look to the light in the heavens. And whenever I think of this, I feel something stirring within Muso Ishin. The blade that I inherited from Makoto seems to be trying to guide me, to encourage me. I noticed it also. Just now in the heat of battle, it seemed to unleash a new and unfamiliar power. This power is beyond the limits of my understanding. This blade belonged to Makoto. Perhaps it can only respond to me with its full power when I truly understand and believe in her. When I clasped Muso Ishin in my hands, I had the feeling that she was by my side once again. It was at once a familiar feeling and a strange one. Makoto barely wielded a blade in her life, and yet her blade brings me closer to her. You have my approval. Your present will is not the product of erosion. I shall no longer stop you from attempting to modify the rules. From this day forth, this body will remain your assistant. I won't design any more rules that can never be changed. You used to represent my past, but from today onward, you are me. Makoto never saw me as a fearless weapon. Likewise, I should not regard you as a mere tool. You truly have changed. I suppose this is what humans call growth. I understand. I shall become your shadow, just as you were once Makoto's shadow. The duties I perform will not change. But as a warrior, I look forward to the chance to fight like this again in the future. Do you say this because you have not yet reconciled yourself with your defeat? It was simply a new experience for me. One that is worth reliving.
Have you finished fighting then? Like, for real this time?
Hello, A. And greetings, those who have come to bear witness. I am Raiden Makoto, the previous Electro Archon, who failed in my duties and left you all to pick up the pieces.
Makoto?
I'm so happy. You've come so far. I always knew you would make it here in the end. I left a faint fragment of my will in Muso Ishin, so that in the moment that you unleashed its full power, I too would be released. A convoluted way to reach you, but... well, you held such deeply entrenched views at the time that you wouldn't have listened to a word I said. There was no time to wait for you to have a change of heart. Please forgive me. All I could do was find some way to wait until you came to me.
But... you never mentioned this to me.
Everything happened so suddenly. I'm sorry. I've always felt terrible for having to entrust Inazuma to you all of a sudden. I should have been the one to impart these ideas to you, a little at a time, to dissuade you from your pursuit of stillness.
Did you know what was about to happen in Conria?
I had some sense of it. That place was not somewhere that any Archon could afford to ignore. In my present form, I can no longer perceive time. I don't know how long we have been separated before this reunion, and I don't know what Inazuma has experienced in the meantime. But I know that this must have been an extremely arduous journey for you. And I'm sure you must have wanted to shed tears
many times along the way. Don't look down on me. See? You admit it. It was with this possibility in mind that I left a parting gift for you. Something to soothe Inazuma's pain. Here, take it. Before my last shred of consciousness fades away. But it is you who must take the most important step.
The light turned into a seed?
The miracle tree that blesses the people, in this moment new to the world and yet to be known. When to plant it, where it shall bloom. She who brings it into being must let her heart and dreams decide. Grant it life, eh?
Is it really?
Eternity extends time into infinity. Dreams illuminate each moment within. When both shine in unison, the sacred Sakura blooms from the darkness, finally free from the clutches of the heavenly principles. Now the nightmare has dissipated, and reality is made whole. The vision we both yearn for is still further ahead. My only regret is that I cannot witness Inazuma's future, nor can I walk this journey with you. Do you know, I am so happy right now, because my final wish has now come true. Your polearm once protected me from countless calamities. For this, I've always felt indebted to you. Though I could never repay you in full, this sacred Sakura will buy you some time until you are ready to awaken and embrace the new. What do you think? Did it do the trick? This time, it really is goodbye, eh?
Goodbye, Makoto.
So the A of the present planted the sacred Sakura in the realm of consciousness, and it took root in the Inazuma of the past. No matter what you make of it, it's quite incredible.
All of this is thanks to Makoto's power. Her understanding of eternity is much more profound than mine. Eternity is a concept intimately connected with time. When you begin to touch on eternity, the concept of time becomes murky.
A place where time is meaningless and cannot be understood with ordinary logic. So that was the turbulence I was sensing. Perhaps that is the reason why you were able to return precisely to this point in time without any problems. And yet, that sense of disorderliness has now completely disappeared.
I don't fully understand yet. But my intuition tells me that the reason for everything, it's that seed.
Well, I'm not convinced that it was Makoto's power alone.
Without the sacred Sakura, Inazuma would likely have been completely swallowed up centuries ago by that disaster and the filth.
I know you've always perceived there was something special about the sacred Sakura, but to me, it has always been there. You've tried in the past to prove to me that there's a connection between the sacred Sakura and Makoto's consciousness. But unfortunately, you never did persuade me, did you?
No. But I understand why now. It was because the sacred Sakura hadn't even been planted then.
But don't you think that tree looked a lot different than how it does now?
The sacred Sakura is within my purview at the shrine, so obviously I get to prune it exactly how I like it.
Ugh. Now we see who's pulling the strings.
I'm joking. That tree has been through a lot since it first sprouted. We have the loving care of Kitsune over the ages to thank for how it appears today. And obviously I played my part too. It's fair to say that very little time passed between the moment you came out of that realm and the moment you re-entered it. But in that same time, centuries of battling took place on the inside, did it not? Traveler, if I'm guessing correctly, you were repeating your wishes to yourself in your mind, weren't you? At that time, I could sense A's whereabouts, but I also sensed anomalies in the flow of time within that space. Suffice to say, time added a whole new dimension to our search. Simply establishing a location was not sufficient. Fortunately, your will was strong enough that the turbulence carried you to the moment in time most likely to be the intersection of all that you were wishing for. The flow of turbulence may well have been influenced by Makoto, but it took everyone's efforts combined to ultimately help A. So this time, it looks like thanks are due to you.
Does that mean it wasn't by chance that we ended up at the final duel? We were always meant to be there to witness what was going to happen?
I thought that the flow of time was the same on the inside and the outside. So it was a great shock to me when the traveler reappeared. My first thought was, has a great disaster befallen Inazuma? But it turned out you had come to rescue me. You came for my sake, to help me reach the best possible outcome. You too have my thanks. You have done much for me, and I will never forget it.
A, how are you feeling now?
My body has fully recovered, and the Shogun's will no longer fights against me.
Always thrilled to hear you're in good health. But I was really asking about your emotions. Have you managed to calm down? After all, you saw Makoto in there, didn't you?
I only heard her voice. I wouldn't say I saw her. I'll be fine. It brought a few things back, of course, but I've made my decision to move forward. I have to say, this has reminded me once again just how brilliant Makoto was. She predicted all the ways in which Inazuma's future could unfold, all the way back then. She even factored my immaturity into her plan. It's all thanks to her that Inazuma lived to see this day. I just planted a seed.
Yeah, it was thanks to everything you did that you got to see her again. That's amazing!
Thank you.
Today, at long last, you and Inazuma finally emerge from the shadows cast by the events of centuries past. Makoto and you are Inazuma's past and future, and both are indispensable.
It's rare to hear such comforting words from you. I graciously accept them.
Oh, come on. You only think it's rare because you never used to listen to a word I say.
Makoto said the exact same thing!
Great minds think alike, hmm? I wonder, does that qualify me to, maybe, take the position of Shogun for a couple of days? Actually, no. Forget that. Far more trouble than it's worth.
We will have to end the frivolities there. There is much work to be done. The Shogun and I will closely review the Inazuma of today to find out where things currently stand. Then, we will give careful consideration to the future. After that, I will abolish the Sakoku decree.
Really? That's huge news!
I am no longer pursuing an eternity defined by stasis. In which case, there is no further need to keep the nation under lock and key. I don't doubt that many challenges lie ahead for Inazuma. I'm looking forward to it.
The sacred Sakura bloomed.
Okay, we did it. Story quest Act 2, Raiden Shogun story quest has been completed. We got the Dream Sakura. Let's talk with Raiden and Mei.
Many
Conversation.
challenges still lie ahead for Inazuma, but I am prepared for them. Abolishing the Sakoku decree has a myriad of implications. It would be folly to say that it will be all positive, and there will be no negative repercussions. For example, I can foresee the outside world posing a threat to Inazuma's businesses. These are the issues that I must work to solve.
Hey, you're thinking about this all so conscientiously. I've only got as far as wondering whether I'll be able to sell entrance tickets to the Grand Narukami Shrine in the future.
Honestly, Miko, many challenges still lie ahead for Inazuma. Many challenges still lie ahead for Inazuma, but I am prepared for them. Makoto's gaze was always fixed on the people of Inazuma. I always assumed it was because that was her duty. But now, I see that hers was a gaze full of delight and hope. It was not just a duty, but a joy, too. She loved humanity very dearly.
If the people of the past deserve the god's attention, then so do the people of the future.
Indeed. No longer will I ignore their passions and dreams. Many challenges still lie ahead for Inazuma, but I am prepared for them. Don't worry, I haven't forgotten. I will be sure to remind the Tenryo and Yashiro commissions of their duties in this regard. It's not only the monsters that I am worried about. I'm concerned about what else might escape from the sacred Sakura.
That's a tough one, all right. There's plenty more besides memories held in the ley lines.
Since you clearly understand, perhaps you could think about making an effort too. Many challenges still lie ahead for Inazuma, but I am prepared for them. To put it bluntly, it was constant torture, with no end in sight. Faced with an endless battle, I had to remain focused at all times. Had my concentration lapsed for but a moment, the Shogun's blade would have taken my life. Safe to say, were it not for my previous experiences in combat, my skills would not have been up to the challenge. I would most certainly have been defeated. And through it all, you also had your part to play. Many challenges still lie ahead for Inazuma, but I am prepared for them.
Yai Miko said nothing of the sort, and the traveler has some nerve making up spurious claims about her while she is still present. Some words are not to be passed on. Trust me, you don't want to know the cost of betraying me. Just think of the things I said to you as our little secret. Understood?
What are you talking about?
Nothing. Ooh, I suddenly want some fried tofu.
Many challenges still lie ahead for Inazuma, but I am prepared for them.
Okay, that was interesting conversation with Raiden and Yaimiko. That's pretty good. Alright. Oh, now it's gonna lock with Yaimiko. So right now, we'll take a break right now. So, yeah. Hoping for more story quests right now. Because obviously. Because I don't know, because I play more story quests for each character for Genshin Impact, for the story quest for each character. Well, you're for journey, if you complete the story quest for earned rewards. But the Raiden Shoguns is so strong. Even though Zhongli's Act 2 for as weekly bosses for a long time ago was already completed for Ace Daha, for Geo Archon, Zhongli. That was pretty awesome. Awesome storyline for story quests for Genshin Impact after complete from Archon quests during the journey. The entire game for storyline, basic in entire gacha games. So Sexy want to play games. If you want to already story quest reward for more characters for 7 Harkons. Hope more. Right now it's pretty good. The story quest is pretty good. So anyway, I'm gonna do for a few hours. So I will see you in a second. I will take a break for another quest. Alright, we're back. Alright, so I already completed for story quest in Raiden Shogun Act 2 because I have complete for and of course unlock with weekly bosses for Raiden in Raiden Shogun Puppets. So let's go. We're gonna do the hangout for cookies. No, not that. I think it's Shikanoin Heizou. Alright. Champions by Storm. With hangout from Shikanoin Heizou. Okay, let's go, shall we? Shikanoin Heizou's hangout with 4-star Catalyst character. This is the first male on animal from Inazuma from character. The Animal Boys. Alright, let's go talk to her. Sango and Ryuji. Conversation agency.
What if the Traveler is also unavailable? What am I supposed to do?
Well, that's your problem. It was your choice to get into this mess. Oh, but fortunately for you, it appears your savior has just arrived.
Ah, Traveler. Great, you made it.
Well, it's not like you were ever really busy to begin with.
Sango? Compared to the Traveler, you're the one who has too much free time.
No, I'm very busy. I'm busy standing here. I have to stand here all day.
Even if it's a commission you're unwilling to take, your excuse is just pathetic. Yes, that's why I've asked you to come over. Allow me to explain. A key member of the Tenryou Commission has recently gone missing. No one has seen them, and their whereabouts are currently unknown. The Tenryou Commission has entrusted us to find this person discreetly because it would be a hassle for them to look for this person openly for a variety of reasons. Their name is...
Kujosara. That's right. The general has gone missing.
If the general was really missing, the Tenryou Commission would have flipped Inazuma on its head by now. And do you think they would only commission us for a case like that? Please ignore Sango's nonsense, Traveler. In fact, the missing person's name is Shikanoin Heizou. He works as a special detective at the police station. Although his rank is merely a doshin, he is quite competent and held in high regard by the police station.
Do they think he's more competent than me?
We get that you don't want to help Sango, but could you at least try not to make things more difficult here? Sorry, Traveler. Even though I accepted the commission, as you can see, Sango's less than thrilled to be involved in this case.
Nope, not even close. If you really want to know why, it's because I absolutely refuse to deal with that brat's nonsense. The only news that could make me happier than Shikanoin has gone missing would be Shikanoin has been missing for 100 years.
Needless to say, Sango and Heizou have a bit of a history. Well, it's a little more serious than that. According to Sango, Heizou was an obstacle in her path to the Temple of Truth.
Like a yappy dog that was constantly in the way.
Even though Heizou has a unique personality, he's actually a nice guy. Really, I've learned a lot from him. So I can't just ignore this case, even if Sango doesn't approve. At the very least, I could entrust the commission to someone capable and trustworthy, like you, Traveler. Huh? No, it's not like that. Listen, I'll pay the entire amount originally promised by the Tenryou Commission, and I'll even personally throw in some additional funds. I'm really hoping you can take this commission, Traveler. If Heizou truly is in danger, I know he'll be safer with you by his side. Actually, we get along great, but Sango has always asked me to keep my distance and not to act like I know him in public settings. So, when people ask, I usually just say I've met Shikanoin a few times. If it hadn't been for today's incident, well, let's not get into that. Anyway, could you please help look for him? Well, that's about all I have to tell you. Oh, please take this commission letter from the police station. If you find Heizou, return there and report back to them.
Alright. Oh, ask around. We're going to Watsumi Island. Okay, let's go. Ask around Watsumi
Oh, it's
Island.
you, the captain of Swordfish 2? My name is Shibata. I'm in charge of the watch here. May I inquire as to what the captain needs? So his name is Shikanoin Heizou, huh? Yes, I'm familiar with the detective. He used to stroll around the area. Her Excellency had assigned me to keep a close eye on him at the time, fearing that he would do something unpleasant. But I eventually realized that he acted more like he was on a trip or something. Come to think of it, I believe he was recently spotted in the area east of the Sanganamiya Shrine. Please feel free to go there and take a look for yourself.
Okay. Let's proceed to find somewhere Heizou. We'll see. East side's Heizou. Look around. Look for Heizou.
Come on, you guys. I'm nothing but a poor tourist with empty pockets. Please, you can just let me go.
There is no escape!
As one with wind and cloud.
Into the wind! I swear by my sword!
Well, well, look who it is. I was wondering who could be valiant enough to wipe the floor with these guys so easily. Turns out it was the distinguished traveler. Really, I can't thank you enough. Of course I was aware of you long before you arrived in Inazuma. Though the Sakoku decree managed to keep the country locked up, it wasn't able to stop the incredible stories about you. Every day, all of those little stories would come scurrying over to my desk, like files with little feet. I was actually thinking about going to meet you once I wrapped up the business at hand. Who would have guessed that you'd show up first? I got so excited I nearly forgot to introduce myself. The name's Shikanoin Heizou, Special Detective of the Tenryou Commission. It's a pleasure to meet you, Traveler. I wish you all the best on your journey through Teyvat, by the way. I guess that means I've taken over as the main character in your story today. I've always heard that you take commissions from all kinds of people, helping everyone out with everything you can imagine. So now it's my turn to take your help, huh? Don't mind if I do. That was already obvious to me. It's no coincidence that you've arrived here, because that would be the stuff of an epic novel. The two protagonists of the story both travel to Watatsumi Island by chance and cross paths as if by fate. The traveler from afar heroically rescues the weak and defenseless detective from the clutches of the ruthless Nobushi. Traveler, you are so dreamy. Unfortunately, though, I don't believe in coincidences. So, guessing you came to me on the police station's commission, didn't you? I'm a detective. Can you guess what gave it away? Sounds like you already have some ideas about the work of a detective. Let me ask you this. What's that your little sidekick is holding? If I'm not mistaken, it's a commission letter from the police station.
What? Paimon's just here to take a look. And hey, who are you calling a little sidekick? Paimon was worried she might be in danger, so Paimon came to help. Why are you two staring at Paimon? Is Paimon not supposed to be here?
Yeah, I'm also just taking a look.
She can look, but you can't.
Oh, come on. Don't be like that. After all, this is the first time I've seen a voice. I must admit, I'm most intrigued.
Huh? Voice? What are you talking about?
A vision is an external magical focus, right? Well, similarly, a voice is an external voice box. I've heard that the Traveler isn't very talkative, but given how chatty you are, you must be her voice, right?
That sounds awful! Paimon's not somebody's voice! Paimon's emergency food! Wait! Paimon's so upset she can't think straight! Paimon is Paimon! How dare you give Paimon such a terrible nickname? We came here to rescue you, but you actually opened the cage yourself. You were only pretending to be captured by the Nobushi, weren't you? Pretty suspicious if you ask Paimon. Come out with it, mister. What kind of schemes are you up to?
Sheesh. For someone who says they don't want to be a voice, you sure do talk a lot. Well, let me think for a moment. Yes, all this started a long time ago, during the war. Kujo Takayuki, who was head of the Tenryo Commission at the time, had secretly asked me to investigate the military capabilities of Sangonomiya. But I had already grown tired of the guy for a while, so I simply treated the trip as a paid vacation. I had heard that Watatsumi Island is really beautiful. As for the mission, I thought I'd just come up with some random excuses or whatever when I reported back. But guess what? The first night I arrived on Watatsumi Island, I had a dream. The dream contained only one message, an echo resounding from the depths of the earth that kept ringing in my ears, saying, "Something vital is missing on this island." Isn't that bizarre? Something vital has gone missing on this island. Has something evaporated into thin air? What could it...
Paimon bets it must be something delicious. You know, because the soil of Watatsumi Island can't grow crops. There's a shortage of food here.
Oh. Food, huh? How about you, Traveler? What do you think is missing? Perhaps Watatsumi Island doesn't value your little partner as much as you do.
Well, as long as the Traveler still appreciates Paimon, then that's fine.
Interestingly, I didn't have the same dream again after I left this place, so I became even more intrigued. Was this really just some random dream? Some people believe that dreams represent the Divine's helping hand, which I suppose is understandable. However, if you ask me, dreams have nothing to do with the gods. Instead, they are flashes of intuition. It was my intuition telling me that there was something important about this island that, poof, suddenly vanished. So I decided to accept this little commission from my intuition and investigate to see if I could come up with any compelling findings. Unfortunately, the investigation has had little progress up to this point. Who knows? I felt there was something peculiar about them, so I pretended to get captured to see if there were any leads that would surface. Nah, don't worry about it. These guys were just a bunch of small fries. Besides, your arrival is much more important to me. I have a feeling you can help me find the answer to my dream. So how would you like to partner up on this one? We can work together to solve the mystery. Yes, of course, I understand. But let me ask one more question. Did the police station say they are looking for me because of something important? Well, then it's probably nothing major. Most likely they're short on staff or something petty like that, and they happen to remember their model employee. So since we're already here, why don't we just solve this puzzle together? Once everything is settled, I'll gladly accompany you back to the police station, or anywhere else you'd like to go. What do you think? It's a deal then, partner. So, let's get started, shall we? First, we can search the camp for clues.
Hey, isn't this Crystal Mirror? Ooh, what's the shiny thing? Oh, it's a Sango Pearl!
So, Have you found anything? Yes, I've found pretty much the same. And there really are a lot.
Aren't these all super expensive? Oh, these must be the valuable things that went missing from the island! That's it! The Nobushi must have stolen them all!
I don't know if I'd go that far. The Nobushi would be very hard-pressed to find many opportunities to get their hands on commodities like these.
Huh? What do you mean? Did the Nobushi gather all this themselves?
No, that's unlikely. Crystal marrow is a rare material for crafting weapons, and Sango pearls are an even more precious commodity. Here's what I think. Due to Watatsumi's poor soil, the island's economy is quite fragile and heavily reliant on the trade of these special resources. So, it's absolutely vital that they keep them under lock and key and well out of the Nobushi's reach. Which means they got lucky with a huge batch like this. My guess is they ambushed a caravan. If we go ask around the Sangonomiya Shrine, we can find out if there have been any recent instances of caravans being plundered. Perfect. I knew you'd be a huge help.
Well, duh! The Traveler is Paimon's companion after all.
Captain, I see you found the detective.
Watatsumi Island sure is a beautiful place. I don't think I...
You can stay as long as you like, granted you don't cause any trouble, that is. Her Excellency has stated that all friendly visitors are welcome. Incidents of stolen goods? Not that I'm aware of. Her Excellency has recently launched several measures to boost the economy, including the development of trade routes and establishing our own caravans. Troops have also been deployed to protect them, so it is only reasonable to assume that the current trade routes are already very safe. Any looting or theft would be practically unthinkable.
That's strange. Then where did the Nobushi get those goods from?
Huh? You mean you found goods of unknown origin?
Yep, and it's all Sango pearls and crystal marrow, so we know it's local.
Could there have really been a theft that hasn't been reported? That shouldn't be the case. Well, perhaps you could go ask Todoroki. He's responsible for the caravans and is usually in the village at night preparing the goods. If something has happened, he should know about it.
Great. Thank you for all the info. Let's go.
Hey, Traveler! It's been a while. I've missed you. Why didn't you inform me that you'd be coming over today?
General Goro.
You're dismissed, Shibata. You may go about your other duties while I catch up with the Traveler.
Yes, General Goro.
I overheard you discussing a case of stolen goods. Is that right?
That's right! We found a lot of Watatsumi's valuable products in a Nobushi camp!
I see. So you've come to ask if we know of any relevant cases. I'm ashamed to say that, yes, the caravans have been plundered. And not just once, I'm afraid. We had already dispatched additional forces to protect the caravans, yet the crooks still managed to get away with the goods.
And you're concerned that if this kind of news were to get out, it would undermine the confidence of other caravans. So you didn't make it public, and instead kept the news to only a select few.
That's correct. I never expected you to be so concerned about Watatsumi's affairs, Detective Heizou.
Just a force of habit, really. As a detective, I notice these kinds of things.
Oh, so you two already know each other?
Actually, I've only heard of Detective Heizou from the soldiers' reports. We've never met in person.
Darn it. You're right. Now that you mention it, I've been on Watatsumi Island all this time and still haven't properly introduced myself. Man alive, please forgive me. It's a pleasure to meet you, General Goro. I'm Shikanoin Heizou of the Tenryo Commission.
Yes, it's a pleasure to meet you too. I'd like to express my gratitude to you for stepping in and helping recover those goods.
Don't mention it. You never know what you'll find when you're out for a stroll. But if the source of the problem is not addressed, I'm afraid this sort of situation will continue cropping up for you.
Yes, of course. Not only have we reassured the affected caravans, but we also dispatched personnel to investigate the culprits. The reports indicated that the stolen goods were being delivered to a merchant of the International Trade Association named Godot. It all seems pretty unusual. We suspect that there are bigger players behind Godot, and that their target is none other than Watatsumi Island's valuable resources. But unfortunately, it would be difficult for us to investigate further, given that...
Given that, Rito, the island where the International Trade Association is located is not part of your territory, yes. They have cleverly picked their base of operations.
I can see you catch on quickly, Detective Heizou.
It's my guess that you're telling us this because you're going to ask us to assist you in finding who's behind all this, right?
You're always thinking one step ahead. Yes, those were exactly my intentions. And of course, we will prepare a generous reward for you. The recent end of the war, trade and commerce have now become an important component of Watatsumi Island's development. Ensuring safety of the trade routes is critical, and we can't afford any further incidents. So, will you please help Watatsumi Island, Detective Heizou?
I'm willing to assist, but it all depends on what she wishes.
Great! With both Detective Heizou and the Traveler on the case, I'm sure it'll be solved in no time. The situation is now in your capable hands. I look forward to hearing your report when you get back.
All right, we'll take care of it. Traveler, let's go discuss where to head from here.
Exercise caution when traveling to Rito. If you come across any unexpected dangers, retreat first. Your safety is the priority. You must approach this issue with a long-term strategy in mind.
Hey, why are we talking way over here? Oh, you're not trying to get away from Goro so he can't overhear us, are you?
Very perceptive. Seems even Paimon has her moments. Let me ask you, do you believe in intuition?
Huh? Intuition? Where are you going with this?
My intuition tells me that General Goro is lying.
What? How could you say that? Although he did seem a little on the serious side today, but Goro's a good guy!
Good people can be deceptive, too. After all, everyone has their secrets. Well, in my opinion, the timing of his appearance was a little too coincidental. Sangonomiya's soldiers have been keeping an eye on me for the entire time I've been on Watatsumi Island, yet I had never seen General Goro even once. But today he came out and met with us, and even commissioned us to investigate a case.
Maybe that's because the Traveler is here today, and Goro thinks she's more capable.
Really? Huh. Then that makes things even more peculiar. If there are powerful players behind this case, and he needs to draw upon external support, then he should have taken action sooner rather than wait until today. A more plausible explanation is that the items we discovered are linked with some unspeakable secret, and he had to intervene to prevent us from digging any deeper. Then he put up a smokescreen to mislead us. I surmise that investigating the merchant Godot on Rito will yield no results.
Whoa, are you serious? But this is all just a hunch you have, right?
Actually, there is another key factor behind my reasoning, though you may not believe me. I sense something special about Goro.
Something special?
Yes. Whatever is missing on this island, I sense it in him.
Whoa! Hold it right there! Are you saying Goro's a thief? As in he took something valuable?
It's not that simple. I can't fully explain it. It's just my intuition. Sure, I trust your judgment, but perhaps you're overlooking someone else, the true leader here. Being too suspicious, am I? Well, even suspicious people have their duty to uphold. In which case, I'll stay here and get back to you once I figure out what the secret of this place is.
Oh, that's failed. God dang it. Let's try it again. Talk Heizou again.
Hey, why are we talking way over here?
Very perceptive. Seems even Paimon has her moments. Let me ask you, do you believe in intuition?
Huh? Intuition?
My intuition tells me that General Goro is lying.
What? How could you say that? Although he did seem a little on the serious.
Good people can be deceptive, too. Well, in my opinion, Sanganamiya's soldiers have been keeping an eye on me for the entire time I've been on Watatsumi Island. But today he came out and met with us.
Maybe that's because the Traveler is here today, and
Really? Huh. Then that makes things even more peculiar. If there are powerful players behind this case, and he needs to draw upon external support, then he should have taken action sooner rather than wait until today. A more plausible explanation is that the items we discovered are linked with some unspeakable secret, and he had to intervene to prevent us from digging any deeper. Then he put up a smokescreen to mislead us. I surmise that investigating the merchant Godot on Rito will yield no results.
whoa, are you serious? But this is all just a hunch you have, right?
Actually, there is another key factor behind my reasoning, though you may not believe me. I sense something special about Goro.
Something special?
Yes, whatever is missing on this island, I sense it in him.
Whoa! Hold it right there! Are you saying Goro's a thief? As in he took something valuable?
It's not that simple. I can't fully explain it. It's just my intuition. Sure, I trust your judgment. It's simple. We should just investigate whatever it is they're trying to hide from us. And what were we planning to do just before Goro showed up?
Oh, we were going to talk to the leader of the caravans. Yeah, someone named Todoroki.
Bingo. There's no time to lose. Let's go talk to this Todoroki.
Okay, let's right now. Wait till at night at 20 o'clock. So we're nearly with 3.0 right now. It's gonna be exciting for Samaru. Right, Nick is gonna be excited about it. For so long for 2.8 it's actually. It's gonna nearly end for 2.8 right now. This makes me a little sad because I missed it for a long time ago for nostalgia for Genshin Impact version because I miss it. Headed to the border village. Okay.
Todoroki, the shipment has arrived and is ready for inspection.
Good, let's go.
Hey, it's Todoroki!
Shh, keep quiet. Let's follow him and see where he leads us.
Okay, alright, the stealthing time. That was pretty good for stealthing. Something cutting. Alright, I think it's good. Every stealth thing, like quests, like even those like Sayu and then like any stealth thing with other game. Alright, let's go see this conversation.
Your intel was spot on. When we arrived, the Nobushi were all still asleep. We captured them all, and the goods were retrieved and brought back here.
I'll take a look. Everything seems in order. Good work.
It's nothing. Thanks to the efforts of your caravan, the price of grain in the village has decreased.
That's right. And who would have thought that the injuries we sustained during the war would have such a lingering effect on our bodies? But thankfully, He also brought back some life-saving medicine.
Things are improving thanks to the help from those up top. Oh, by the way, what is the state of the village's inventory? Make sure that it's confirmed tonight. I have to leave tomorrow morning after I go to the Sangonomiya Shrine and get instructions from General Goro.
Don't worry. We've already prepared the list. Just follow us.
Huh? The soldiers from Sangonomiya seized the Nobushi stolen goods? But didn't Goro say all the stolen goods were headed...
Alright, let's see what we can come up with here.
Glaze lilies? What are these doing here? Shouldn't it be crystal marrow or something?
And Todoroki...
Whoa! Chingshin? Paimon was expecting to find Sango pearls. This box is packed so tight! It looks like it could burst. Let's see what's inside. Huh? What are all these plants and flowers? Oh, there's a small note here.
So, did you find anything?
Whoa! Look at all the Chingshin! And glaze lilies, too! There are also tons of other plants and flowers Paimon doesn't know here. Weird.
These are valuable raw ingredients for producing medicine. If these few crates were to be imported from Rito, the price would be jaw-dropping. On top of that, these items seem to lack a tax clearance certificate, meaning that they were most likely smuggled. Yes, very interesting. Now, where did the Nobushi get these goods? How about you? Did you find anything else? Foreign Trade Association? I've never heard of such an organization in Rito. And if it's regarding foreign trade, then smuggling is an even more likely possibility. Alright, in which case, I have a rough hypothesis. First, we...
Huh? Who goes there?
Oh no! We've been spotted!
Huh? Wait, Captain? Is that you?
Oh, so it's you, Captain. You had me worried there. We almost mistook you for bandits. Captain, do you remember us? During the war, I was in the field hospital with Masashi. Teppei brought you to see us and helped find medicine for us.
Hey, come on now. The Captain wouldn't forget. I gotta tell you, Captain, we all miss you. We haven't seen you ever since the end of the war. When we heard that you were coming here, we just assumed you were only going to see General Goro and Her Excellency. The guys are all really hoping to see you. We're fine. You don't have to worry about us, Captain.
No, you're not fine. Captain, you may not be aware, but Masashi previously fainted on the front lines. The doctor thought that it might be a neurological condition caused by overstimulated emotions. It's pretty serious. According to the doctor, if it hadn't been for the medication he's been taking, he would have developed dementia. And that was assuming the best case scenario.
You're one to talk. Don't forget why I fainted in the first place. It's because I heard that you got yourself killed by an arrow. I couldn't handle all the emotion. Later, I found out that he'd been shot in the buttocks and it was only a mild injury. I had an emotional breakdown for nothing.
What do you mean for nothing? I got shot not by one, but 2 arrows in a row. The first arrow was to the left cheek, and the second arrow was also to the left. And because the arrows were poisonous, the wound still hasn't completely healed yet. I have to apply ointment every day, and I'm constantly worried it might reopen while I sleep.
Look on the bright side. At least we're still alive.
Yeah, I suppose you're right. But enough about us. What brings you here, Captain?
These goods are all seized from the hands of Nobushi and treasure hoarders. Todoroki was the one who provided us with the intel. He mentioned there were bandits here and there, so we went and took care of them while also confiscating the goods.
By the way, Captain, you still haven't met Todoroki, have you? He's the one we're working for now. Her Excellency recently announced plans to stimulate the economy and created the caravans, with Todoroki at the helm.
Yeah, he's proven to be quite capable. Even though he was just a farmer before, he's now successfully running the caravans. And his 2 sons were also our brothers in arms. Both received a special medal of honor from General Goro, which is quite remarkable, don't you think?
So, as injured veterans, we've been reassigned to Todoroki. He's the one who gives us orders and pays our salaries now. What do they call that again?
It's called changing careers, dummy.
Ah, right. Changing careers. Anyway, I think the whole caravan thing is wonderful. Our region wasn't very prosperous to begin with, and the land can't grow any crops. We have to pay a hefty price just to get basic food from outside. I can't even imagine trying to maintain and feed an army like we did during the war.
I see. I think I understand the general situation now. May I ask where the apprehended criminals are?
Oh, and you are?
Ah, I see. The captain's friend. It should be okay to tell you then. We apprehended all the culprits and escorted them to a temporary location not far from here. Unfortunately, Masashi and I have other duties tonight and won't be able to take you there. Why don't you wait for a moment and I'll find someone else to show you the way.
I'm pretty sure I've already got a grasp on what's going on. All I need now is to confirm it with the apprehended bandits. Let's go. Now's our chance to look. Are you still a little confused? Let me help connect the dots. This whole thing was actually quite similar to a case I once worked on previously. It was a case involving the trade of prohibited items, and they employed an old trick to execute the deal. The culprit would first go strolling down the street until they knocked over a pedestrian on purpose.
Sir, please forgive us, sir. We are nothing more than petty thieves.
Sir, what do I look like? A commissioner? Does my friend here look like a commissioner to you?
Officer! Officer!
First, I'm gonna need to ask you a few questions.
Sure. Go ahead, ask anything.
The soldiers discovered many valuable goods in your camp. The goods don't appear to be from around here, so the question is, where did they come from?
Oh, the goods? Right, we picked them up at the beach.
You picked them up?
Well, no, we, actually...
Be honest now. Tell me the whole story.
Yes, sir. I mean, officer. We took those goods from a small merchant ship just off the beach, but we didn't exactly steal them. You see, the ship's guards all took off running the moment they saw us. They abandoned the goods, and we simply came and picked them up. But next thing we know, a group of soldiers arrives, and we're all apprehended. Talk about bad luck. We didn't even have a chance to stash away the goods before we got caught.
You say that the merchant ship's guards fled without putting up a fight. You expect me to believe that?
You just assumed they were scared witless and didn't have the guts to fight. I'm not bragging or anything, but our boss is pretty intimidating. With his massive muscle and strength, he could scare anyone.
You really expect us to believe all this?
No, you gotta believe me. Just the other day, we scared off an entire squad of soldiers. When they noticed us, they went running and dropped their goods. I swear, I still remember seeing tons of Sango pearls and crystal marrow in that load. All nice and shiny, too. Whew, it was amazing. Unfortunately, a bunch of pirates came later and snatched those goods. It just happened that our boss had diarrhea that day and couldn't hold off the pirates. This luck of ours.
Wait a tick. Pirates?
Yep, no doubt about it. They came on a massive ship, and their captain was a pretty lady with an eye patch. We had no idea how powerful she was. It was like boom, boom, thud. Only took 3 hits before she knocked out the boss.
A pretty lady with an eye patch?
Oh. Does this description remind you of someone, Paimon?
No! Doesn't remind Paimon of anyone.
Okay. And how about you? Really? Okay, I'll take that as a no. Then, it appears that the situation is just as I suspected. Todoroki is striking a shady deal with a group of pirates, while General Goro appears to be assisting with the cover-up.
What? How could that be?
Todoroki said that he'd be going to Sangonomiya early tomorrow morning to get Goro's instructions before the caravan leaves. Now is the time to address any doubts you may have. Tomorrow morning will be our moment to confront them. Hopefully, my final question will be answered then as well. The question of what important thing this island is missing. I can feel some connection to the question in Goro, Todoroki, and even to Kuda and Masashi. Hopefully, we'll finally have an answer tomorrow. Let's get some rest. I'll see you at Sangonomiya tomorrow morning.
Okay, it must be tomorrow morning, following day. Okay.